Hi, everyone. I'm Alan True. Thanks for joining us on the 247 Sports YouTube channel for yet another commitment announcement. It is commitment season, and we've got several of these coming up. But this first one on today is a big one as we have four-star quarterback Malik Washington out of Archbishop Spalding in Southern Maryland set to announce he is a top 15 quarterback in the country, a top 247 prospect, a four-star with excellent size at 6'4". 200 pounds. He is ranked quite a bit higher on 247 Sports than he is on the composite. The composite has him the number 23 quarterback in the country. We at 247 have him at number 14, and he is set to announce his decision. We have him standing by, and he will join us shortly. He had quite a few offers to choose from, but narrowed down to four schools: Maryland, Syracuse, UCF, and Virginia Tech. He took official visits to each of those programs. He has 22 offers in total, but those are the four he will be choosing from today. So we will now go live to his home where Malik Washington is standing by and ready to announce the decision. Malik, first of all, you narrowed it down from 22 to 4. So now you got to number 1. What was the process like, and was it a difficult decision?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult decision. These last 4 programs are, all great programs, all great schools with a lot going for them. Cutting it down wasn't easy at all, but, it was a decision that had to be made.
Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do going into official visits, or did those official visits help you reach today's decision?
I mean, really, on the officials, it was more of talking to the coaches and the players, just trying to figure out, day-to-day life, academics, all the different things that I would be living in. I kind of had a little bit of my mind made up going into it, but I wasn't completely sure.
Yeah, football-wise, what were some of the criteria that played into your decision? Were you looking at style of offense, your chance to play right away? What were some of the things you were considering?
Definitely those two, the system, my ability to be able to play early, and then really just a player-led culture, where the players are allowed to hold each other accountable and nobody feels like they're above the rest of the team.
So before you announce, I want to ask a little fun question of you. You recently helped us go viral. You got over 1 million views on that video where you hit the goalpost.
I'm going to go with it.
You going with it?
Tell me nothing but.
So first of all, I understand that was your first try out there. Had you done that before? Had you practiced that a little bit?
I practice and stuff like that, between periods, I would, throw that at crossbar just for fun like anybody else. But out there was just, first try. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. And I remember Caleb had did it, a few years back. And I was looking at Coach Aaron. I'm just like, man, put your camera on. I got something for you. And, the rest was the rest.
All right, we hear your dog barking. He's telling us to get on with the announcement. So let's not keep him or anybody else waiting. You have the floor. Where will you be spending the next several years of your football career and academic career?
It's definitely been a long, hard decision. But, for the next 3 to 4 years, I will be – actually, hold up. Come on, bro. For the next 3 to 4 years, we will be attending University of Maryland.
All right, Terrapin fans, you got a little twofer this morning. You guys pulled a little bit of a surprise. So why don't you introduce us to the other new Maryland commit right now and kind of talk us through your decision?
Go ahead, my boy.
My name is Jayden Shipps. I play corner at Bishop Spalding. Maryland just been a spot for me. Coach Azar was my first offer, and Coach Williams was my second offer. So, we're just keeping it going, and they just treat me like family. It's just like I feel like Maryland's really building something up there, and why not keep it inside the DMV? We got the best athletes.
Facts.
So, Malik, what was it about Maryland that also led you to become a Terp?
Like Jayden said, they've been around for a long time. It's right down the street. A couple of my teammates go there. And it's just like, if you can be great, why not be great at home? Your family's here to support you and watch you. So, if you're really one of them guys, you'll be a Terp.
So they're building a really good class right now. As you mentioned, there's some other players that you've played with or played against in the class. Do you guys now target any other players to try to get them to join you at Maryland?
Definitely. A bunch of the dudes around here that haven't committed yet or might be committed somewhere but not feeling the best. We're going to try them to stay. Going to try to get them to stay home.
Sure.
All right. So 2 questions. First, for Malik, what have they told you about your chance to come in, compete right away? How the depth chart sets up for you, and what you need to do on your end to make early playing time happen?
It's open. As of right now, whenever you go in every year, everybody has a chance. That's what they told me. It's not like one set guy who's going to play or anything like that. Like it's whoever takes the job.
And Jayden, same question for you. How do you fit into their plans defensively, the scheme, and what are your chances to play right away?
Like Malik said, it's all open for real. I feel like I'm going to play all three positions. That's what I'm trying to learn. So, I'm just trying to come in, give my best effort and try to get on the field for as year as possible.
All right. Last quick question before you guys exit. What can Maryland fans expect out of the two of you coming up?
For me personally, just y'all gonna get my all. You know what I mean? Every day, on and off the field, I'm gonna work as hard as possible, try and come in there, change the program around even more.
Sure. Definitely be a lecture for both of us. We both try to come in, make some shake up Maryland, put on for the DMV.
Facts. DMV rep.
Well, appreciate it, guys. Congratulations. I think this was the first surprise double announcement we've had on the 247 Sports YouTube channel. So we appreciate the creativity and congratulations on your decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What does he bring to the table and what does this mean for Maryland?
Yeah, I think first of all, you look and just listening to him, I hope the Terp fans really understand, both of them, just how much fun they are, how smart they are, and how well they will represent Maryland. And when I look at Malik Washington, it's funny, Alan, because I heard so many questions through the process of, does he love football? Because he was also a really good basketball player and he spent a lot of time on the AAU circuit and stuff. And coaches want dual sport players. And then when you have one that does it at a high level, they're like, well, does he love football? Yes, he loves football. And anybody that watched him practice, play, compete in a camp, you see it. First of all, he's really smart. He's really poised under pressure. The arm strength is there to get the ball, 10, 12-yard outs on a rope. He's got a beautiful touch on balls down the field. He's a dual threat kid. He's 6'4", 200, 210. I guess depends on what you have for lunch that day. But there's so many things that he does well. Listen, this is the highest rated quarterback Mike Locksley has gotten since he's been at Maryland. And they've been waiting for a kid like this to really jumpstart things locally from the recruiting standpoint. And you could see, look, Jayden Shipps is his teammate at Archbishop Spalding, but it's not just that. Before we went on the air, Alan, we were all talking about how he knows all these kids from the DMV because he played with them in youth ball. So you get everything you want in this as far as talent, personality, ability to recruit others. It's just one of those deals that this is the quarterback Mike Locksley has been waiting for since he took the Maryland job.
Yeah, tons and tons of upside there. So if you look at Maryland's quarterback room, you have MJ Morris, a transfer. You have last year they signed Christian Martin out of the state of Virginia, but it sounds like there is an opportunity for Malik to come in and maybe get some snaps early on. How do you break down his opportunity to come in and do that?
Yeah, I think one of the big things with Malik is, like I mentioned, he also loves basketball, but he's going to enroll in January, which will allow him to be in spring practice next year. And then as well as I do how hard it is just to learn offenses. And so you have MJ Morris, Christian Martin's there. I think Champ Long is still there. And so you're looking at guys that maybe have some depth in there, have a little bit of experience, but in this day and age, you don't bring in a quarterback of Malik's stature just to sit there and sit around for 2 or 3 years. Get him some experience. One of the great things with college football now is you can play those 4 games and still keep your red shirt your freshman year, which is, my understanding and talking to some sources is that's part of the process. They can actually get him on the field and they all know that. And another big part is, listen, Mike Locksley is going to coach the quarterbacks now. And he made that decision, A, because he wants, good quarterback play, but B, he knows what that would mean to Malik Washington's recruitment. And that was a key aspect of why Washington decided to choose Maryland.
And now going over to Jayden Shipps, the surprise announcement today, I think under Mike Locksley, when I've looked at Maryland recruiting, they love to recruit traitsy guys, especially in the secondary. You see a lot of guys who look the part, have the length. Jayden Shipps definitely fits into that. What else does he bring to the table for them? Yeah,
I think he brings versatility. He's a kid that, 6 feet, a little bit above, has some good length. The versatility is he could play corner. There's still going to be some questions about can he keep up with the top end receivers in the Big Ten speed-wise, but he can play corner. He's smart. His technique is good. He can play nickel if you want him to come in. He has some size to deal with some of the bigger receivers too. And you can move him back to safety. One of the things I loved about watching him play, I went to see them play in November, was just his desire to come up and hit people. And he's not just trying, if he's on the corner, he's not just trying to set the edge. Man, he's trying to beat that blocker and then drive his shoulder into the ball carrier. And so he's a physical guy. He's a smart kid. His technique is there. There's a lot of really positive things I like about Jayden Shipps. And I think, from my standpoint, I wish we saw him at the camp circuit to where we got some real testing numbers on him. And I think he would have done really well with that stuff. And so there's a little bit of an unknown there, but it's an unknown I am willing to take care of and just saying he's going to turn out to be a really good player because he has some of those traits just from a physical aspect.
Yeah, when it comes to Maryland recruiting, we know they'll go into the Southeast. They'll get into Florida and Georgia and those places a little bit, but it starts at the DMV. And they've had a really good month there. Iverson Howard, running back, committed not too long ago. Justin Devon, beginning of the month as well. And now they add 2 more. So as you look at this class, what stands out to you about this group and Maryland recruiting in general at the moment?
Well, I think it starts with the fact that Maryland's won, 3 straight bowl games now. And while that may not seem like a big deal to people across the country, it's a big deal when you think of what Maryland was when Ramsey Edsel left and when Mike Locksley got there. And kids, Alan, there's very few kids now that want to go build something. And so it's really hard to go get that, 5-star, that top 50 kid to go to a program, even if it's in his backyard, and really be a catalyst for building. So it's more of a slow build. And I think what you see with Malik Washington, Iverson Howard, those are guys that believe in not only what Locksley's doing, but really like the success they've had under Locksley. You look at Delmar White, a defensive lineman from Archbishop Spalding. He's going to wind up in Maryland's class, it looks like. And then you start looking at, you always hear about the talent in the DMV and can Maryland tap into it, especially the high-end kids. And, one of the kids who was on campus this past weekend was Zamir Smith, who's from North Carolina, kind of southeastern Maryland. He's an Alabama commit. He was there. They're also after, Blake Woodby, who was at one time committed to Ohio State. I still think Auburn may have the slight lead there, but he was on campus last weekend. A couple other top 247 kids out of Virginia. Jalen Gilchrist, offensive lineman out of Salem, Virginia Beach. Messiah Delhomme, he's out of Newport News, Warwick. And Matthew Otten is from Norfolk, Norcom. Those 3 right there are top 247 kids that Maryland has a chance for. We'll see, some really good competition there, but they were each on campus recently. And also, can they land, Jeff Exenor, 4-star receiver, is announcing Friday night at 7 p.m. It's a Penn State, Maryland battle. Brennan Johnson, really highly productive linebacker from Highland Springs, which is one of the powers in Virginia. He was just on campus. Sidney Stort's an edge guy from Concordia Prep, who has Maryland high on his list, who was on campus this month for an official visit. There's a lot of exciting things going on with Maryland, and I think we're starting to see what a lot of people around Maryland think is possible. Now you got to close the deal, but it's exciting if you're a Terps fan.
Well, I appreciate you joining us and breaking it down. If you want, it's a busy month and busy time for commitments. So if you want to follow more East Coast recruiting, follow Brian at Brian Dohn, BrianDohn 247 on X, or if you still call it Twitter, and also on 247sports.com. So appreciate Brian for joining us. We obviously appreciate Malik Washington for sharing his announcement with us and then bringing on Jayden Shipps as well. So appreciate Jayden for making the time and joining us and doing the double announcement today. We thank all of you fans for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. We have 2 more announcements coming up today and several in the next few weeks, and as well as our typical weekly college football recruiting show, college basketball. This is your home right here on the 247 Sports YouTube channel. But thanks for joining us on this special commitment edition. Congratulations to Malik Washington and Jayden Shipps, and take care. Thank you.